to open a portal to another dimension and how to close it before it's too late. This is translated by me from a Greek article. The gates offer entrance to the kingdoms outside this dimension and can be naturally discovered or opened by performing rituals. Of course, now you know what we're getting at. I'm not agreeing with this. It's just that we're putting it out there so you know what's going on and that there are people who are trying to do things like this. I'm not saying they should go and try and do this. For heaven's sakes, don't. It's just that we're reading it to have this as knowledge that people are trying to do this. Now, those who are brave enough to face the risk of access to alternate universes must be very aware that failing to open and close these ethereal gates can end up being fatal and can sometimes lead to a problem, life or death. That is why it is not recommended that something that can cost you your well-beloved or your life itself. Some mysterious disappearances around the world where humans have disappeared without a trace reinforce the idea of gates and the need for security when interacting with them. There are various rituals to open a gate to another dimension. However, the fact that it can be done does not mean that you must do it. Be very careful with the steps below and always close the gate once you are done. Otherwise, who knows what can be accessed in our earthly kingdom and especially in our lives and our family environment. Decide which kingdom you want to access. Now here we have to mention William Schnoebelen, who was a 33rd degree Mason and dwelt in black magic before he became a Mason. He and his wife were doing black magic, and they did an incantation where they tried to bring a demonic entity in, conjuring it up, and they were successful, but it was so terrible that they ran out of their house and left the entity, and they don't even know where it's roaming in the earth. Okay, that's how bad it was. Now, William Schnoebelen is on YouTube. You can find him. He converted to Christianity, of course. He goes around giving lectures on all this, on what happens, and to stay away from Masonic members, brotherhoods, and also black magic. And he even wrote books. One of the books I read was Beyond the Light. He tells a lot of things in there, his beginning, what he was doing, and this thing about the incantation of this being. We even know that in the Middle Age, in the Middle Ages, there was this thing as the Goyim that the Hebrew high priests were able to conjure up, and they put this writing on him, and they were giving him orders as to what to do. In a way, they were able to direct and order demonic entities as to what to do. This is something that used to go on in the past. All right, the Goyim. Now, going back to this now. Decide which kingdom you want to access. The gates provide access to 3 different types of kingdoms: earth, astral, and spiritual. The place you choose to go depends on the type of experience you want or the entity you want to experience on your journey. The kingdom of the earth includes our dimension and access to other kingdoms. The astral kingdom is where the ethereal energies are and where the 3 kingdoms have the greatest power and potential. Every person who passes through the spiritual kingdom goes on the path to future life. The energy, the power, and the sense of serenity permeates this kingdom. Depending on one's lifestyle or mental state, they can exist simultaneously on Earth and on the sphere. Remember to do the opening and closing ceremony. Okay, I'm translating this. One portal acts as an entrance to another dimension. Therefore, it is imperative to perform a ritual opening and closing each time we interact. Failing this ritual can leave you vulnerable to unknown entities that could be hooked through the portal to our kingdom. And this is what happened with William Snowblin when he conjured up, and they ran out of the house. They were so terrified, and it's somewhere roaming the earth. They don't know where it is, and they don't know how to send it back. Now, going back to this, the initial ritual begins with a relaxation achieved through deep breathing and a grounding connection of your energy to help you on your journey. The ritual should include a request for help with your journey through the gate, damage protection, and help with finding what you are looking for. Different energy turbines power positive or negative gates. Energy turbines are places on Earth with strange temperatures, different colors, or other major variations in the area where you are. They form the third and fourth dimensional fields that are connected to form the gates into other dimensions or spheres. The type of energy flowing from the vortex and its direction influences the type of gate created. When energy flows to and from the Earth, it is a positive gateway. People using these portals experience a boost in spirituality and a general feeling of lifting. When energy sinks to Earth, it creates a negative gate. This can help heal a person's wound, but anyone who is not prepared to deal with a heavier feeling of this gate can react in ways that can be volatile. This invocation or approach when interacting with the gates. Traveling in the spiritual or stellar fields, they operate through invocation of focus techniques. Relaxation and concentration are needed to invoke it, while relaxing and focusing on one point, e.g. of the selected color. Say or think the words that indicate your intentions. Keep repeating the phrase until the color dimension begins to increase, as if a stain is spreading, forming a portal to the other kingdom. The approach provides a faster way to invoke a gate to a chosen kingdom, though it also involves repetition and concentration in the colored sphere. You can connect to the spiritual realm on 3 levels. First level implies a brief visit that begins and ends with a thought about a loved one who has died. A portal opens briefly to see the person you lost and closes just as quickly. The second level requires a bit more effort. It requires relaxation and inviting players to interact with you. When the spirits arrive, they leave the gate open and allow you to enter. Don't worry, the spirits will be benevolent. That is a complete lie. The first spirits that are going to come to you are the ones that are going to try and trick you and take you to hell, and also invade you and make their home in you. In other words, you'll become demon possessed. The third level requires more power for a spirit to accompany you to its kingdom. Using your existing spirit connection with you or having your own boat to rely on is the key to this process. The mirrors can act as gates. Okay, that's one way a demonic entity can enter you, is by mirrors. Okay, so this is totally wrong what they're saying here, but look, we have to be aware of this. The mirrors can act as gates. Gates that appear naturally in other spheres may appear near energy turbines, but many spiritualists also use mirrors to create gates. Spiritualists, we're talking about black magic Satanists, all right? Many rituals use a mirror to allow entities to enter our kingdom for a short time. There you go, okay? The mirror acts as a gateway between you, the caller, and the entity you are calling, creating a gateway that must be destroyed or shut down immediately if things go wrong. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all? Who is the most beautiful of them all? Remember the stepmother in Snow White? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Of course, she was doing black magic on Snow White to kill her. Right. But that's a children's story, if you believe that. Now, going back to this, the closing ritual is mandatory to prevent the entity from crossing the kingdom of Earth. No kidding. Stellar view of help with a lunar portal. Stellar projection occurs when your body sends your soul to travel in different dimensions while you are sleeping or thinking. If you've ever woken up and feel that your body has reached the ceiling, it's likely that you were on a star-studded night trip. Some people possess it naturally while others need the help of the lunar portal to do so. To create a lunar portal, draw a body of water at the bottom of the water. That again, they're using that for demonic entities. To create a lunar portal, draw a body of water at the bottom of a sheet of paper above the water and focused on the page, add the moon. Add a bright moon shape to white paper. Above the water, but below the moon, create a black tower on the left and a white tower on the right. Light a candle behind you and focus on the moon gate as you declare or contemplate your desire to progressively project. Turn off the candle and lie on the bed to experience the effect of getting out of your body. Always close the gate after using it. A portal provides entrance to kingdoms full of various kinds of entities, demons, spirits, and souls. No kidding. According to experts, opening a gate and removing it is like, quote, calling someone but not hanging up later, end quote. So anything on the other side can still hear until communication is completely cut off. Unless you stop communication in a timely and proper way, it is very likely to lead to many dangerous opportunities. An entity can cross his kingdom and get stuck in people and objects, get stuck in people and get stuck in objects. I mean, the priest in our church even told me that even dolls can be demon possessed. Even children's toys can be demon possessed. Can you believe that? Going back to this, the so-called demons can stay and cause any kind of problems. The spirits that pass through the gate can become ghosts, confused about where they are and how to get back to their dimension. Most importantly, the longer it takes for the gate to close, the more negative actions are likely to pass and remain somewhere around us or even within us, even if we have finally managed to close the gate late. So you can become demon possessed by doing all this crap. I'm sorry, crap. Okay. Seal the gate. Some gates close easily when a person opens their eyes and stops the flow of energy. Others require a verbal closure, such as saying goodbye. Is that so? You think that saying goodbye is going to be that easy to get rid of demons that are attached to you or around you trying to get into you? No. Now, such as saying goodbye, to remove the entity from a mirror gate. Another way to seal the door is to collect sacred water, you see, sanctified if you prefer, with the essential oil and moisten it on any mirror or reflective surface near the gate. See, whenever we have great feasts coming and we have the 40-day fasting periods in the Christian Orthodox faith, you have a lot of magicians and Satanists breaking into churches. You know why? Because they want to steal the holy relics of saints, and they want to steal holy relics that are used in the performance of the Holy Eucharist. And they also steal holy water. That's what they steal. They steal things like that. Because during the fasting periods of the great Christian feasts, Christmas, Easter, the birth of our Virgin Mother on September 8th, February 2nd, which was the presentation to the Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, the baptism of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is tomorrow, the great also Indictus, the 1st of September, the very nice, the feasts of the great saints, the birth of St. John the Baptist, which is June 24th, all these great feasts, and the also June 30th, which is the feast of the holy apostles, Peter and Paul. You have fasting there. Well, they break into the churches and they steal holy relics. They can even steal the Holy Eucharist. Okay, there are women that come into the church and take the Holy Eucharist and then spit it out and then use that to protect themselves, whereas they're not supposed to. You can understand what's going on. I mean, this is very serious stuff. That they have to protect themselves from demonic entities, and that's why they break into churches. Okay. So going on with this, the open gate leaves dangerous consequences. No kidding. It's because all the demonic spirits come into our dimension and start invading people and objects. Now, prefer not to let others close a gate you opened. You have to close it yourself. The best person to close a portal is the one who opened it, and the preferred position is usually in front of the gate. However, in case of emergency, any person can close a portal using a drawing or a photograph or other advanced techniques. What is that? I have no idea. Now, again, I'm going to refer to William Schnobel and his wife, who opened up a portal, conjured up and invoked a demon, a huge, strange, gigantic, foul-smelling, foul-looking thing that they got so scared because they were always conjuring up stuff coming into our dimension. But this one was so terrible that they ran out of the house screaming, and they didn't close the door. They didn't close the gate, and they don't know what happened after that. This is what he tells us in his book, Beyond the Light. Okay, they just, he confesses. He says, I don't know where that thing is. We don't even know what else came out, because they left the portal opened. I guess it's still open. God forbid if anybody lives in that house, they're going to have demonic attacks. Oh my God. All right, let's go on with this. I'm sorry, but we have to know this, okay? Now, that's why so many houses in the UK are demon-possessed, because black magic has been going on in there. And they're being sold at 10 cents to the dollar. These huge mansions and houses belonging to lords, looks like. I know because one of my goddaughters bought one of those houses, and they ended up getting divorced, and it was just terrible what they went through. But that's for another video. Okay, prefer not to let others close the gate you opened. The best person to close the portal is the one who opened it, and the preferred position is usually in front of the gate. However, in case of emergency, any person can close a portal using a drawing or a photograph or other advanced techniques. What they are, I have no idea. Create a circle of salt to stay in wherever you do a ritual. Salt. Place candles around the salt circle and use them to mark a path between you and the gate element. If the data is not corrupted properly and the connection is closed during the ritual, the entity will turn against the one who invoked it. Obviously, we're talking about demonic entities here. As you may have realized, opening a portal to another dimension or kingdom can be simple, but at the same time very dangerous. If it does not close properly, we can find unpleasant entities entering our reality, having the ability to turn our lives into real nightmares. I know. Okay. That is why we recommend to be careful when opening gates in other dimensions. The above is purely informative in nature, and we do not recommend you for any reason to open or close portals. No kidding. Okay, so obviously you don't do that, but I'm telling you what has been taking place, and a lot of these homes that have had people doing these incantations are still demon possessed, and many of these homes have been bought up by Christian Orthodox people. They have been told by the realtor that they're demon possessed, and they say, haunted and poltergeist and all this, and they say, well, we don't care, we're going to bring in the Christian Orthodox priest, and he's going to do the holy water prayer in the house, and it'll be cleansed. And that happened to one of the people that one of the priests told me about. He's in where is he? He's in near Sussex. He's in Sussex. Okay, that's the Duchy of Prince Harry and Meghan. But yeah, this church is near Sussex, and I won't say the name of it. Why not? It's King Constantine and Helen's Saint King Constantine and Helen's Church, and he told me of a priest who had gone north of London to cleanse a house with holy water. The holy water prayer takes about half an hour or so. The man who bought the house says that these entities come out 9 o'clock every evening and throw furniture around, because he bought the house furnished, fully furnished, with very expensive furniture. And he says they start throwing the tables and chairs around, which are really heavy. And he called the priest to come and do the prayer for the holy water and to cleanse the house. That's what you do with every new house, new business, new car, everything. Okay. So the priest came around 8:30 to start the holy water prayer around 8:45. But the minute he started, you have a little bowl with clean water, and he prays over the clean water, and then he sprinkles the house with the water. And today we had the holy water ceremony at the church, and I'm going to upload a video of that where the priest sprinkles us with the holy water in the church. But so the similar thing goes on in the house, and the thing is that these things saw that the priest came to get rid of them, and they started doing their poltergeist furniture throwing bits at 8:45. And he had started the prayer, and when you start the prayer, you can't stop it. You have to keep going. So he, in order to save the bowl with the water, he took the bowl with him underneath the table, the huge dining room table, and continued the prayer underneath as he was lying down, embracing the bowl of water while he was doing the reading the prayers. And he felt his legs being pulled from under the table by an unseen, invisible, very strong force. Both his legs were being pulled, so he comes out, they take him out from under the table, and he was holding on to the table leg, reading the prayer of the holy water. I mean, you can understand the hand-to-hand battle that's going on with these demonic forces. This is real stuff going on. I have to remember to tell you about the man who bought the haunted house in Oklahoma, Muskogee, Oklahoma, which was a beautiful new development over what they didn't know was a Native American burial ground, what happened to him. But anyway, don't do anything having to do with this. Okay, this is all black magic and it's just terrible. But know that it's there, and that's why I'm reading it for you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.